And then lastly, we're going to have a look at composing a minimalist piece. So if you guys are in S4 getting ready for your revision, then we won't be doing this activity now because you haven't got time, you need to be revising. But if you happen to be not in S4, then chances are we'll probably be doing some kind of minimalist composition activity. So if you have a look at this slide here, we've got 4 notes. We've got an A, a B, a C, and an E. Our 4 notes there, so we use those to form our cell, our repetitive cell. In this example here, I've very unimaginatively just taken those notes, made them into quavers, not even changed the order or anything. So it's just A, B, C, E, A, B, C, E, A, B, C, E, A, B, C, E. And that's it. That's our cell. Okay, so that's our cell or our motif, which we will repeat. And then one of the techniques that we could use to develop it is actually kind of remove notes here and there. So in this instance, on this bottom line here, I've taken away 2 of the E's from the top of that 4-note cell. So that's called note subtraction, when you're taking away notes. And thus this is causing it to kind of gradually change, because all of a sudden, because I've taken out that E, everything else that comes after it has kind of jumped slightly to the left. So it's changed the rhythm, and it's also changed the feel of it slightly. So this would sound... which sounds a little bit different, as you can tell. Another technique that we can use is to kind of offset different cells against each other. So this is called contrary motion, where we've got 2 different lines going in different directions. So the top line here is our cell, is the same cell, A, B, C, E, A, B, C, E, and then in the bottom, the line underneath, I've got the reverse. So E, C, B, A, E, C, B, A, E, C, B, A, which would sound a bit like this. Or then the last one we've got is where you've got a cross rhythm. So we've got the same cell, played the same notes, same order and everything, but we've got the regular one at the top, and then the bottom one, we've changed, instead of it being quavers, we've changed the note length to dotted crotchets, which is obviously slightly different. So the bottom one is going to be moving a lot slower than the top one, or 3 times slower to be exact. So it kind of offsets things, creating a cross rhythm. So these are techniques and examples that you can use to create your own minimalist piece. We'll just take you on a quick tour of this minimalist piece, which is self-composed. I have written this, although to be fair, I'm not professing it to be anything noteworthy, but hopefully it just gives you kind of a few ideas of things you can do and techniques you could use. This is obviously all a lot kind of condensed into quite a small space, so I'll talk you through it, and you can kind of hear what things sound like, and hopefully that kind of maybe sparks some ideas for your composition. So anyway, this is my first phrase. This is the first phrase I've got. So da 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 da, and that's my musical cell. And you can see that in the bottom line here, the left hand of this piano. I've got 2 pianos here. The left hand of this piano, it's just the same all the way through that first section. And then as I've got different things that are introduced in the right hand of the piano, the left hand of that piano, and then the right hand of that piano. So as I'm introducing new ideas, I'm phase shifting them. So this is the same pattern but started a quaver later, the same pattern again but started a quaver later, and then I've got the same pattern again. I think this one's a crotchet later than the previous one. So let's hear what that sounds like. So you get the idea. We've got different things being added in as it's phase shifting as they're added in, and it makes the texture much thicker, sounds a lot busier. In the next section, we've got cycle of fourths in the bottom. So I'm going C to F to B flat to E flat to A flat to D flat to F sharp to B natural, and then I think, yeah, I've gone back to C and just started it again. So we've got a 3-bar cycle. and that is in a dotted crotchet rhythm, which is kind of going against the regular quavers that I've got on the line above, which is producing a nice cross rhythm. So this is okay. So this line is going similarly. Actually, it's even though it's quavers, it's kind of split into dotted crotchets. So a dotted crotchet is worth 3 quavers. So these are, I've got a C in the left hand of the piano, and then I've got a C chord, a C major chord in the right hand, split into 3 quavers. An F is there, and then I've got an F chord in these 3, an F major chord in these 3 quavers, B flat in the bass, B flat chord in the right hand. So you get what I've kind of done. I've used the root note in the left hand on a dotted crotchet, and then I've got 3 quavers playing 1, 3, 5 from that major chord in the right hand. So it is a cross rhythm, but it's also they're kind of closely relating. I've also got some kind of large intervals here and there spotted about, so that makes it a little bit interesting, a little bit more angular. And then in this section here, this piano comes in and I've got cluster chords. So we've spoken about cluster chords, so I've got cluster chords there. and the rhythm that they're using is phase shifting as it's going along. So that is the next section. There we go. So that is my middle section, my B section. And then my last section is kind of a jumble of everything kind of mixed in. So I've got from my A section, da 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 da. So that's my original cell. And then every second bar, I've done what is known as retrograde, which is to invert it, to flip it. So if I'm starting with a C there, the C is the first note in this bar, C becomes the last note in that bar. B is the second note there, it becomes the second to last one in that bar. A is the third note there, it becomes the third to last one in that bar. So I've completely kind of flipped it along an axis just here. So I've done that every second bar. So it's still phase shifting. So there's the first iteration, there's the second iteration, a quaver later, there's the third iteration, another quaver, but another quaver later, but I've moved this down so it's starting on another note. So you can see that some of it is patterns, some of it is a little bit of this is how I'd quite like things to go. So it's a bit of a mixture, I guess. So that's phase shifting and retrograding every second bar. And then the line underneath is inverted. So we're starting on a C there, we're starting on a C there, but this is going down, whereas that is going up. So where the original one goes down, the mirror image goes up, and when the original one goes up, the mirror image goes down. So this is inverted, producing contrary motion, where things are going in the opposite direction. And while that is going on underneath, now this is really where I've started to cram things in, perhaps a bit too full, you might say. I've got different ideas from section B that I've kind of split up. So I've got the cluster chords, which are bars 2 in this section, and then bar 5, and then bar 8, I think, in that section. I've left a bars rest in there in bars 3 and 6, just to break things up a little bit. And then I've got my cycle of fourths, dotted crotchet and quavery thing from the B section going on there as well. So I've broken things up, but they're all kind of influenced by everything that's come before it. So this is the last section. There we go. So not really a piece, is it? But it's hopefully using a few different techniques to give you some ideas. It's let you hear what they've sounded like. There's producing a lot of dissonance at the end there, which I kind of like, but isn't to everyone's taste. So it just depends on how you feel. So that's a variety of different techniques that you can use in your minimalist composition. Hope this was helpful.